I used to believe love could blind you in a beautiful way, until I realized it can also leave you standing in the dark, clutching the ruins of everything you once trusted. My name's Hazel Morgan. I'm 35, and the night I drove from Tucson to Denver, I thought I was delivering love, wrapped in velvet and sapphire. A 10-hour drive for a gift I thought would make my sister's dream wedding perfect. The necklace belonged to our mother. The kind of heirloom you only touch when it means something. I'd poured my savings into her wedding, the dress, the venue, the music, everything. And as I pulled into the hotel parking lot, I imagined her face lighting up when she saw me walk in, but when I called her to say I'd arrived, her voice cut through me like glass. "Oh, we had the dinner yesterday. Just family." Just family, the words echoed in my chest as I stood there, the neon hotel sign flickering against my car window. I was the one who'd paid for that dinner. For her wedding. For her happiness. Yet somehow, I wasn't family anymore. I smiled the kind of smile that hides a storm, turned around, and drove back to my car, the jewelry box heavy in my hands. I didn't cry. I just stared at the road ahead, realizing that sometimes betrayal doesn't scream, it whispers, soft and cruel. A week later, she called again. Her voice trembling. "The house has no electricity, no water, not even Wi-Fi. Did you send the money?" I froze. Her words were a trigger, not a request. That night in Denver replayed in my mind, the cold dismissal, the silence that said more than any fight could. I realized then, this wasn't just about a missed dinner. It was about everything she'd taken, every boundary she'd crossed that night. I opened my laptop. I logged into the joint account we'd made for her wedding expenses. My breath hitched. The balance was nearly zero. I started scrolling through the transactions, each one a dagger. $4,000 for her dress. $7,500 for a rooftop venue. $3,000 for catering. I'd approved them all, believing in her, in us. But then the numbers turned darker. $2,800 at a luxury boutique. $1,500 for a spa retreat in Aspen. Flights to Miami, 3 of them. My stomach turned. None of these were wedding expenses. They were indulgences. Lies wrapped in receipts. I tallied everything, $35,000 gone. 20 for the wedding, 15 for her personal luxuries. My sister had drained me dry. I stared at the evidence glowing on my screen, the reflection of my own face pale in the laptop light. I wasn't her sister. I was her bank account. Her backup plan. Her fool. Then the phone rang again, our Aunt Judith. Her voice carried that tone people use when they're about to break bad news. "Hazel," she said, "your sister's in trouble. Big trouble." I braced myself. "She borrowed money," Judith continued, "a lot of it, from people she shouldn't have. She bought into a failing bar downtown. She's drowning." A bar? Ivy had never mentioned a bar. She'd let me think it was all about her wedding. About love. But it was all a cover, a way to fund her fantasy life. Judith told me Ivy owed more than $100,000 to private lenders and was months behind on payments. Hung up the phone, numb. Every designer dress, every rooftop cocktail on her Instagram, paid for with my sweat, my overtime, my sacrifices. And now, she was sinking deeper. But this time, I wasn't going to save her. Days later, my phone buzzed again. Ivy's name lit up the screen. Her voice was shaking. "Please, Hazel. Everything's shut off. The bills, the lights." Chloe's scared. For a second, I almost softened. I could hear her little girl in the background, crying. But then Ivy's words from that hotel echoed again, just family. I took a slow breath. Only for family, remember? I said quietly. The line went silent. No excuses, no charm, no manipulation, just silence. I ended the call, my hands trembling but my heart steady. For the first time, I'd chosen myself, but strength doesn't come without guilt. That night, I thought of Chloe, her laughter, her innocence. None of this was her fault. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, torn between protecting her and breaking free from Ivy's grip. The next morning, my phone exploded with notifications. Ivy had posted a rant online, tagging me. Some people abandon family when times get tough, she wrote. My own sister left me and my daughter to suffer. The comments poured into people shaming me, calling me heartless. No one knew the truth. No one saw the $35,000 she'd bled from me or the lies that came with it. I wanted to reply, to expose her, but what's the point? People believe the loudest voice, not the honest one. At afternoon, someone knocked on my door. It was Andrew, her husband. His face looked older, tired. He apologized before I even spoke. I saw the post, he said quietly. She's spiraling. I'm sorry, Hazel. You didn't deserve any of it. We sat at my kitchen table, the air thick with regret. He told me the truth, how Ivy had borrowed from dangerous investors, how their house was on the verge of repossession, how he hadn't known I'd paid for everything. Even he'd been kept in the dark. How's Chloe? I asked. He looked away. She's confused. She thinks the lights went out because she did something wrong. That broke me. Not Ivy's lies. Not the money. But that, a little girl thinking she was to blame for her mother's chaos. I told Andrew I couldn't help Ivy anymore. She's made her choices, I said. I can't keep fixing them. He nodded, tears in his eyes. I just wanted to thank you for everything. You were the only one who ever really cared. After he left, I opened my safe. The sapphire jewelry gleamed under the light, a symbol of everything I'd once believed family meant. I'd held on to that necklace thinking it represented love, but now I saw it for what it was, a reminder that some things are meant to stay in safes, far from the hands that would only take. I picked up my phone and texted Andrew. I'll help Chloe with school and basics. Clothes, food, whatever she needs. I'll also connect you with someone hiring in Denver. But Ivy gets nothing. I hit send, exhaling for what felt like the first time in years. I didn't lose a sister that day. I let one go. Because sometimes love isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to stop saving someone who keeps choosing the fire. If you were in my place, would you forgive, or would you finally walk away?